about everything going on there. Peter Schrager, I do believe you, my friend, will be there in Cleveland, Ohio.
I will be this show's on-site representative. I'll also be working in the evenings. But, Kay, it is a whole network initiative. It is the first big NFL event where everyone is going to be there, and there's going to actually be fans that we as a network are doing. And that includes a Super Bowl where there was only a skeleton crew. So excited to be there, and just even seeing the lumber and seeing the construction, it is such a wonderful sight. Draft week is here, and it's coming, and we cannot wait to be there as well.
Lumber talk to kick off our morning. Gotta love that. My name is Kay Adams. D'Angelo Hall is coming to us from the Rob Lowe of NFL Network backgrounds. Just very standard stock, and I'm here for it. Kyle Brandt is here as well. Peter Schrager's mock draft will be revealed right now over at NFL.com and also on our show. We're going to rip it apart and give him a hard time, and you can as well at GMFB as we hit the lead block.
Lead block.
All right, let's do it. Thanks, Kyle. Okay, start with the Bills here, guys. Their quarterback, Josh Allen, eligible for a new contract extension this offseason based on his numbers from last year. When it happens, it's going to be big, huge, cantaloupe size, guys. Josh went on 10 questions, hosted by our very own KB, and addressed the contract situation. Take a listen.
Honestly, I love playing football. I want to listen and be engaged in the contract talks. Ultimately, that's why you pay your agents, and that's why you hire a guy like Brandon Beane and Joe Shane and the front office guys and what they do. So they'll iron out the details, and if we can get to something soon, I'd obviously love to be locked down in Buffalo for a very long time. If they called up and wanted to talk tomorrow, I'd be willing, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Some words that you love. You love Peaky Blinders. You love Cantaloupe. You love Will Ferrell. How do you feel about the words franchise tag?
You.
So he's not a fan of the franchise tag. That is, of course, Kyle Brandt's podcast as part of The Ringer. You can listen to the entire thing. I got to tell you, Kyle's so awesome that Bills Mafia helped you get that big fish who wants that big contract and will be paid as such in that upper echelon of quarterbacks. It'll happen one way or the other. You got Rodgers, Brady, Wilson, Mahomes as that elite class. Not all of them paid quite that way right now, but are we ready to put Josh Allen, Kyle, in that best quarterback in the NFL convo?
Yeah, it's Big J journalist stuff if you can get the great quotes from the star players like, ew. I don't think Josh Allen's going to have to worry about getting franchise tagged. At least I hope not. He was spectacular on the show. And to answer your question, Kay, I'm going to say no, not yet, to be among the best quarterback conversation because everything with Buffalo has almost written over it. I think Josh Allen is almost there. I think are the Bills one of the very, very top teams? Almost. Is Sean McDermott one of the best coaches? Almost. It's all almost. But that's exciting because, listen, some of the top quarterbacks right now, Rodgers, Russell, Brady, I think we have seen their best football. We've seen everything they have to offer. And maybe Mahomes is even hitting his peak. I still believe Josh Allen is ascending. I think his head is not to the ceiling yet. Still young, still 1 year with Diggs. I still think he can get a lot better. And there's a really refreshing self-awareness that comes from him. Let me tell you why. I asked him as we sat there, I said, listen, Josh, it's been a few months. You're in Southern California. You're with your girlfriend. You're golfing a lot. You're training. How much do you really still think about that title game loss to the Chiefs? Does it really, really stay with you? He did not hesitate. He stood up straight in his chair and said, every day. Every day. He's very aware of what the Chiefs are. This idea that they are the big bad wolf in the AFC. He says straight out, he goes, look, they are what the Patriots used to be. They're the team everyone's going for. We want to be that team. We want to be what the Chiefs are, and we have to go through them. And he has to go through Mahomes. So I think Josh Allen is almost there. But when he knocks off Patrick Mahomes, preferably in an AFC title game, that's when he'll be there. Until then, work to be done. Ew.
Ew. I listened to this question, and it's amazing we're even having it. Last year we did the NFL Top 100, and it wasn't like it was done 20 months ago. No, it was last summer, and I'm looking at the list right now. Eric Kendricks from the Vikings was 83. Zach Ertz was 85. Josh Allen was 87 on the NFL Top 100 list. And I'm here today telling you, I think he might be not only a MVP candidate, I think he's like an MVP favorite for this season going into the 2021 season.
Wow.
I think that's the next step. We saw it from Mahomes. It was like MVP, Super Bowl, and now you're that guy. Lamar, MVP, get that playoff win, now you're that guy. Josh Allen's now been to the playoffs 2 years in a row. He had the misstep against Houston in the playoffs a couple years ago. Last year gets a playoff win against Indianapolis, then beats Lamar in Baltimore, and then gets to the AFC Championship game. The next step is not only Super Bowl, but like, this is my year. I'm the guy. And I think he can do that. And maybe the best thing that happened to Josh Allen this offseason, and it wasn't just appearing on Kyle's podcast, which was a very good thing for him to happen, but the best thing to happen was Brandon Staley impressing the heck out of those Chargers front office and ownership group. Why? Because I think everyone and their mother thought Brian Daboll was getting that Chargers job. Brian Daboll doesn't get the Chargers job. Brandon Staley wows the Chargers. They go with the Rams' first-year defensive coordinator. And after that, Daboll, he didn't get the Jets job, didn't get the Chargers job, didn't get a lot of looks elsewhere. This guy, who's been working with Josh Allen for the past 3 years, is coming back for year 4. Ken Dorsey, the quarterback's coach, he's going to be back, and they bring back all the weapons. I don't think it's us doing hyperbole here. I think when the NFL Top 100 list comes out, you're going to have your usual players. It's going to be Rodgers and Mahomes, and it's going to be Russell Wilson. I think Josh Allen's in the top 5, and by the time we do this the following summer, next summer, it might be Josh Allen number 1, and I would not be too surprised if he's the MVP this year. Wow. They are that ascending, and that guy right there, he can only go up.
Peter, I agree with you to a certain extent. I definitely think Josh Allen is ascending. He's one of the top quarterback talents in the National Football League. But I think too many times we try to crown guys after one season, or after, one really successful season, because, we know Josh Allen has made some really good plays in this league. But what you saw Josh Allen do last year, I mean, it was nothing short of, if Aaron Rodgers didn't have the season he had, you are looking at your MVP in Josh Allen. So, I just think it's great to see what that organization has done for Josh Allen, right? So many times young quarterbacks come in this league and they aren't given the proper help. But what does Brandon Beane go do? He goes and trades for an elite wide receiver in Stephon Diggs, and you saw that combination between those two guys take Josh Allen's game to a whole nother level. Peter, you also mentioned the guy, Ken Dorsey, who does not get a lot of credit. I think a lot of people think that the offensive coordinator is the guy who really grooms and cultivates these quarterbacks. It's that quarterback's coach that sits in the room. Ken Dorsey played the position. I played against him. He was in Carolina when Cam Newton had some of his best seasons. And so to watch Ken Dorsey kind of wrap his hands around Josh Allen, along with Brian Daboll and Sean McDermott and all of these guys in that organization, I tell you what, Buffalo has done it right from the top down as far as putting the right kind of pieces around Josh Allen to really give him an opportunity to be successful. So I think he's definitely in that conversation. I don't want to give it to him just yet. We tried to crown Carson Wentz in 2017, right? Midway through the season, MVP type of season. We saw how that turned out for him. OBJ, same thing. We know he's an extremely talented player. Went up, made a great catch. Everybody wanted to crown him. He is a hell of a receiver, but you just haven't seen what you wanted to see from just an elite level type of talent. So I think Josh Allen has all